All right, everyone, welcome back. This morning we had a session that had no audio. So Shauna and I are doing the repeat. Just understand that the fabric doesn't exactly match what we did this morning, but we'll still have a great result. So what we're doing is we're doing this, which started out as an SVG file and turned into a cute little wall hanging. So we're utilizing the ability to transfer data between PE Design software and the Scan and Cut, and between PE Design software and the Luminaire. The transfer between the software and the machine also occurs with your Solaris and palette. So we're going to begin in the software program. And I have layout and editing open, and I will let you know when you would need to do something different for palette. So I'm going to begin by setting my hoop size, and I'm starting with a 9.5 by 9.5. Then I'm going to import a vector image, and I have it saved to my desktop, and I'm going to select open, and the vector image opens up in software. From the shapes tab, I am going to set a running stitch and then not sewn, because I want to make this into a applique. And to make it for the Scan and Cut, I want to change the color to applique material. I need to do one more thing though before I send it to the Scan and Cut. My fabric is face down, so that means I need a mirror image. So I'm going to go back over to the Home tab. I'm going to rotate, flip, and flip horizontal. And now at this point, if you have palette, this is where you would save the design to a USB and take it to your Scan and Cut. I am using PE Design, so I actually have an export feature that I can send it directly to my Scan and Cut. Now I'm doing a blanket stitch when I create the applique, so I don't need to add any extra fabric. I just need it to cut for me. So I'm going to go ahead and send it to Canvas Workspace. Works as like a way station. It has to go through Canvas and send to the Scan and Cut, but your Canvas doesn't actually have to be opened.
That's nice.
Yeah. So in both cases though, to transfer to the Scan and Cut and to transfer to the machine, your Scan and Cut must be registered to your Canvas account, and your software needs to be acquainted with your machine. So I'm going to select close. Now I already flipped it. So actually let's zoom into the Scan and Cut, because I did save it to the Scan and Cut. So I'm going to retrieve data, and I'm going to select the wireless transmission, and there's my pumpkin. Maybe. Okay.
There it is! Wow!
Really, by virtue of time travel, we are going to start with one pumpkin, and we are going to end up with an already cut pumpkin, which Miss Shauna is going to do while I finish in the software.
Yes.
So, what I'm going to do now is go back to the home screen, and I flipped this for my for it to be mirror image for the software. So now I'm going to just flip it back to make my applique. I'm going to select Applique Wizard. And yes, I need fabric. No, I do not need a tack down, because it's going to be pre-cut for me. So I'm just going to make a blanket stitch, because that's one of my favorites, and it's going to replace the pumpkin that's in my hoop. So there's my blanket stitch ready to go. And I'm going to add a background fill to make it pretty. And I'm going to select a decorative pattern. And I have my favorites that I like to work with for this, and it's this one here. And this pattern is actually available in both the both the palette and PE Design.
It's so pretty.
And I'm going to select OK. So now
wow.
I'm going to select Cut on my Scan and Cut, and it's going to cut my pieces for me. And now while it's working over here, I'm going to send this over to my machine. Now my machine and the software have been acquainted, so I'm going to select Send and Send to Network Machine, which is the Luminaire I'm sitting right next to. So I will get a message that says it has finished outputting the data. So now I'm essentially done with my software, so I'm going to go ahead and close this window. And I'm not going to save it because it's already in my machine. And let's see, let me put my little iron on here. So I actually did some pre-sewing here.
Nope.
This morning you might have watched, and I put one piece on upside down, so on the wrong side, so I took that one and put it in the right place. And on this design, I would normally just fuse all of the pieces. And I did do my background quilting first because I wanted you to really be able to see the transfer. So from my screen here, I'm going to go into embroidery in the pocket and select the wireless transfer, and there's the pumpkin as it was set. So I'm going to go ahead and set that. And then, how's my Scan-A-Cut doing?
How's it doing? Wow!
So, by the virtue of time travel, I want you to see how clean these pieces cut out. So,
so clean.
So there's that
my
piece.
God.
Watch this little spiral thing.
Oh my God!
And the insides too are cut.
Wow.
And here's my stem.
Oh my God, look at the pumpkin. Look how pretty that fabric is.
That's a Kimberbell. So some of us use that in our pumpkin for our Halloween quilt.
It's so cute.
So fast forward over here, and we have two pieces put on. I already did my background stitching. I like to stitch mine with monofilament thread. And I am going to skip ahead to some of the actual blanket stitching on the pumpkin so you can see it. When I get to the machine, I really don't need a tack down stitch. So I would just skip that because you really don't need it. You're going to be fused.
Time.
Yeah, I had Misty fuse on my applique pieces, so they're good to go. So I'm just gonna go to the embroidery screen, and I'm gonna skip ahead about 7 spots, I think. And I'm gonna put my needle down, my foot down, and you can see how nice and close that blanket stitch gets.
Yeah, wow. That is so perfect. It's right on there.
Yes, and this is what I love the most about working in software is it's right spot on.
It is so perfect.
Now, I'm a big proponent of actually doing test sews if you can. So I did do one test sew out of this before I actually did the project because I decided that I wanted my pumpkin to be a little bit bigger.
It is so perfect. Wow. It is so perfect.
It's really just a lot of fun. SVG files are just, they're so versatile.
They really are.
Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff with them. And as they first come in the software, they actually come in as a filled embroidery design. So it's a great way to learn how to work with fills and things like that.
That is so amazing.
So I hope you enjoyed that. There will be more coming soon in the form of a class. But the one thing I love to do is integrate all of your products together.
Yes.
So that you know that all of this fun stuff that you bought, you know how to use it and you know how to make it work together.
That's so amazing. Thank you, Michelle.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.